Rain fell hard over Nuevo Esperanza, a border city where life was cheap and silence was gold. The streets were nearly empty, washed clean of noise except for the hum of a black SUV slicing through the storm. Behind the wheel sat Raúl Ortega, a man who had driven too many men to places they never came back from. It was midnight. He was on what would be his final job, though he didn't know it yet. In the back seat, two men argued quietly in Spanish, their words lost between thunderclaps. Raúl couldn't help but hear fragments. Shipment, betrayal, accountant. His knuckles tightened on the steering wheel. He wasn't supposed to listen. Drivers never listened. But Raúl had learned long ago that what you don't know can still kill you. And tonight, he knew too much. Raúl wasn't born dangerous. He was born poor. As he grew up in a dusty neighborhood outside San Marcos, the kind of place where children learned early that food came after loyalty. His father had been a mechanic, honest, skilled, and permanently broke. Raúl learned cars before he learned sentences. By 12, he could rebuild an engine from scrap. By 16, he could hotwire one blindfolded. When his father died, the bills buried him before the grief did. Raúl tried legitimate work, taxis, deliveries, construction. But every path paid in coins and insults. His mother grew sick, his sister needed tuition, and the world closed in. Then one night a man stepped into his taxi. Expensive shoes, quiet voice, a pistol barely visible under the jacket. He didn't offer a name, just an address and a job. "Drive for me. You'll be safe, and you'll never go hungry again." That was how Raúl met Don Gabriel Morales, the quiet leader of La Hermandad del Sol. A cartel built not on chaos, but on cold calculation. They called themselves a family. And for a desperate man, that word meant everything. His first job was simple: drive a plain white van across the city without stopping. No questions, no curiosity. At the end, a man handed him an envelope thick with cash, more than 3 months' wages in one night. Raúl tried not to ask what was inside the van. But he caught a glimpse in the rear mirror, a blood-stained tarp and a pair of boots underneath it. He couldn't sleep that night. The money sat heavy in his pocket, like guilt he hadn't earned yet. But when dawn came, he found himself at the same warehouse, asking for work again. Over time, as he became the most trusted driver in the organization, he knew every route, every police schedule, and every safe house. He learned that silence was stronger than courage, and that curiosity was suicide. He told himself he wasn't part of the business, he just moved people and things from one point to another. He told himself that until he believed it. Within a year, Raúl was driving for Don Gabriel himself. The boss valued punctuality and discretion more than brutality. He said little, and when he spoke, people listened, not out of respect, but out of fear that words might be the last thing they heard. Raúl noticed things most didn't: the patterns, the cracks, the way Lieutenant Hector Mendez looked at Don Gabriel's chair, as if waiting for the day he could sit there. The accountant, Arturo Benitez, always sweating during briefcases exchanges, and the young hitman, El Toro, who laughed at funerals as if they were parties. Raúl was invisible, a ghost behind the wheel, but he saw everything. And that knowledge made him dangerous, even when he didn't mean it to. It began with whispers, rumors about missing money, late shipments, police raids that felt too well-timed. Don Gabriel suspected a traitor. Eyes turned toward Arturo, the accountant. One night, the Don told Raúl to pick up Arturo and bring him to an abandoned house outside the city. The air inside was heavy with gasoline and fear. Raúl waited outside, engine running, while the screams echoed through the walls. When Don Gabriel returned, his gloves were crimson. He said only one thing. "Loyalty, Raúl. It's the only law we have left." Raúl nodded, but deep inside, his stomach turned. Arturo's face haunted him every time he closed his eyes. The Don had been wrong before about traitors. Raúl remembered the small mistakes, the false confessions. He knew Arturo wasn't the leak, but he said nothing. Months passed. Don Gabriel grew more paranoid with each hit, each betrayal. Raúl's silence became his burden. He drove the Don through storms, safe houses and midnight deals. He saw bodies dumped into rivers, suitcases exchanged for silence, and police officers shaking hands with killers. He had become the keeper of secrets, and secrets in a cartel were more valuable than bullets. Then one night, Raúl overheard something he was never meant to hear. Don Gabriel spoke quietly into his satellite phone. "It's time. Hector thinks I don't know he's planning to kill me after the next shipment. But I'll strike first." Raúl froze at the wheel. Hector was dangerous, yes, but he was also unpredictable. A civil war would tear La Hermandad del Sol apart, and everyone in it with them. Raúl's hands trembled. He wasn't supposed to know, but now he did. And once you knew too much in this world, there was no escape. The next day, Hector called him. No threats, just calm words. "Raúl, I know everything. I know what Gabriel plans. You drive him, don't you? All I need from you is one thing, loyalty. You want your family out of here? I'll make it happen. Just drive him to the old airstrip tomorrow night and leave the rest to me." Raúl hung up. His hands were sweating so badly, he dropped the phone. 2 roads stood before him. Both led to death. If he betrayed Don Gabriel, he'd die. If he stayed loyal, Hector would kill them both. And that night, Raúl visited his mother. She was older now, frail, and living in a small house on the outskirts of town. She didn't know, or didn't want to know, what her son really did. She only said, "Mijo, promise me you'll leave that life behind someday." He smiled, kissed her forehead, and lied, "Soon, Mama." The following night, Raúl picked up Don Gabriel. The Don seemed calm, almost peaceful, like a man who believed he controlled fate. The rain had returned, drumming on the windshield as they drove into the dark outskirts. "Raúl," the Don said suddenly, "you've been with me many years. I trust you." Raúl forced a small nod, his jaw tight. In the rear mirror, the Don's eyes caught his for a moment. Calm, unreadable, ancient. As they approached the airstrip, Raúl's pulse was deafening, and he could see headlights waiting in the distance, Hector's convoy. The betrayal already breathing in the dark. He stopped the car. "Something wrong?" asked Don Gabriel. "Just a flat, maybe," Raúl said, stepping out into the rain. He walked to the front of the car, heart pounding like a drum. He could see Hector's silhouette now, crouched behind a truck, pistol glinting in the rain. The storm drowned out all sound, except Raúl's breathing. For the first time, Raúl stopped being the driver. He opened the rear door and whispered, "They're here for you. Hector." Gabriel's eyes sharpened. No panic, only cold acceptance. "And you, Raúl? Who are you with?" Raúl swallowed hard. "With whoever lets me live." The Don gave the faintest smile, tragic, almost fatherly. "Then drive, son. Drive like hell." Gunfire exploded. Raúl hit the gas. and bullets tore through the windshield. One grazed his shoulder, another shattered the rear window. Gabriel returned fire from the back seat, methodical and calm, as if orchestrating a symphony of death. As they sped away, Raúl realized he had just crossed a line. There was no going back. They evaded Hector's men for hours, switching cars, weaving through back roads until they reached an old hideout near the mountains. Raúl's arm bled, his nerves burned. Gabriel sat across from him, silent for a long time. Then, "You could have let them kill me. Why didn't you?" Raúl didn't answer. Maybe it was loyalty, maybe guilt, maybe he didn't want another corpse on his conscience. But it didn't matter. In the cartel, even good deeds come with a price. Over the next days, the war broke out within La Hermandad. Cities burned, families fled. Hector was killed, but in death he took half of Gabriel's empire with him. Raúl had become the Don's only trusted man left standing, the last witness to everything. And that was the curse. Months passed, and the dust settled. But the peace was rotten, fragile. Don Gabriel trusted no one, not even Raúl anymore. He started moving differently. Short phone calls, secret meetings, coded messages. Raúl no longer drove him every day. New drivers came and went, nervous, temporary. One afternoon, Raúl was told to deliver a package across the border alone. Routine job, no questions asked. But halfway through the trip, he noticed something off. No pickup crew waiting, no familiar faces. Only a black van approaching from behind. He stopped, hand trembling near the glove compartment. The van door opened. Masked men stepped out. Silent, efficient. One of them tossed a small envelope onto his dashboard and nodded toward the horizon. Inside was a note, handwritten with calm precision. "No one keeps secrets from the family, not even you." Gee, Raúl took a long breath, the kind men take before stepping into legend or oblivion. He knew there was no pleading, no running. He turned the key, feeling the engine hum one last time beneath his fingertips. The road stretched endless before him, narrow, wet, and merciless. He smiled sadly. "At least I'll die behind the wheel." Shots echoed through the valley. The car rolled gently to a stop, headlights still burning through the rain. Weeks later, the newspapers said the driver had gone missing. The cartel never mentioned him again. His name became a whisper, a ghost story among new recruits. But in the underworld, everyone remembered. One, they said the quiet ones were the most dangerous, not because of what they did, but because of what they knew. Raúl Ortega had known too much, and in the world he served, knowledge was the deadliest sin of all. Power grants nothing but fear. In the darkness of cartel life, silence may save you for a while, but the truth catches up, always. The road ends the same for them all.